What plans does RockStar have for Red Dead Online in 2020? Well, they've dropped a few hints recently and in the past. We're going to go over those right now in this video and give you guys our thoughts. Howdy Cowpoke, AustinBMX here, and thanks for checking out today's video. We're going to be going over some of our thoughts and ideas of possibly where RockStar is going to be bringing Red Dead Online for the 2020 year and the future. Now, Red Dead Online is only a year old, a little over a year now. I mean, January is over now, so we got a year and a couple months now, so 14 months or so. I guess we're moving out of the infant stage into the toddler stage. As everyone is aware, GTA Online's been around for years. It's actually their, teenage, adolescent child that gets all the attention. Well, usually the infant gets more attention than the adolescent. So I'm not sure why we're not getting more attention than GTA. Come on, RockStar. Figure it out. Be a good parent. But we looked like we're going to have a good year. I'm pretty sure. We've been ranting a little bit on the game because there are some issues in the game right now that surely need to be fixed to keep the game growing. They did mention they just had a record-breaking holiday season. We're actually going to look at that right now. If we jump over to the newswire they just posted this week, we've talked about it a little bit in a couple of videos this week. GTA Online and Red Dead Online have a record-breaking holiday season, so they're super pleased with the game. We're kind of not pleased on what they gave us. GTA got a lot more attention in this, and a lot more rewards as well, like $2 million, which I think is fairly good in GTA. I'm not too keen on exactly cash flow there, but that seems like a lot. Red Dead Online, though, we didn't get much, and we've actually talked about this in a few videos and rant videos about loyal players that have been playing forever, didn't get much at all. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're done ranting, although I rant about the game a lot. We are excited for the future of the game. The future, what it's going to bring, what it's the next step in Red Dead Online for 2020, and we hope it's going to be great. The rules they've dropped so far have been fantastic. The content they've dropped so far has been fantastic. Few issues here and there, some major ones, most just growing pains that they seem to get fixed fairly easily. But I'm super excited with all 4 rules they've dropped so far. They are a lot of fun, some a lot more fun than others when they work correctly. That's the major issues that we're having right now, but we're super excited for what's to come. In the coming soon section right here in this newswire, they talk about GTA and still more to come in GTA Online with some new racing series and stuff. But right here they say, as we have hinted at in the past, the world of Red Dead Online will also continue to grow in 2020 as we expand the concept of frontier pursuits, additional roles, new missions, and many more significant updates to come. Now that's cool. That's their basic thing that they always talk about in the bottom of every newswire. Stay tuned for more information on updates to come. Understand they don't really want to drop too much information on what they got coming up until they are set in stone ready that they're going to be dropping that, right? You don't want to say, hey, we got an update coming, this is the new update. Kind of like, I think that happened with the summer update, right? I think they jumped the gun on that a little bit and they said, hey, here's the 3 new roles we're coming up with. They probably ran into some issues because we already know there were issues with those roles when they first dropped. So I imagine there were more issues while they were developing those after they released the information on what was coming. And it just took a long time for them to get to a point that they were comfortable dropping it, even though there were a few issues. They probably knew they needed to get it out soon. So that summer update turned into the Frontier Pursuits update and dropped in September. That's probably where we're at right now. They definitely probably have some stuff in the works, and they're just making sure that they work fairly well. I hope they're making sure they work significantly well, so when they drop that stuff, we don't have tons of issues, because there's already enough issues in the game, and everyone's pretty complaining all the time anyway about new content versus issues. What do we need more of? We definitely don't need more issues, but we need some fixes before lots more content comes out. So with that being said, there's a little bit of a hint inside this newswire. If we look really close, it says, as we have hinted at in the past, and if you look, this hinted at is actually a link. It actually links over to the old VG247 interview with Rockstar that happened right after the Frontier Pursuits. It happened on the 27th of September, and this is a fantastic read. I'll make sure to link this down in the description so you guys can read the whole thing if you want, if you have not read it. I've read the whole thing a few times, and if Rockstar's linking back to this, there's got to be something in this huge interview that talks about what their next plans are, and they've kind of hinted a lot of stuff in this thing anyway. So we're going to go over a few things we got in here. Of course, they talk about the Frontier Pursuits a lot up here, and that they're super excited for the new roles. They also talk about a lot more of what their plans are coming. Their plans have kind of been taken to fruition as well. They actually say here, we wanted the player to start off at camp, which we all have. Thought it was a good fit. You know, we don't want to jump the ladder too soon. We're to put high-end businesses like GTA did. They want to start off kind of slow. So it's not like we're going to say, oh, here's the trader and now it's all the same. We want each one of these new roles to feel different. We want the players to look back, what they've achieved over time, and say, that's where I started and now look where I am. They've also mentioned before that they like players to have their characters to experience a journey of running a fledgling business at camp to becoming some kind of industrialist, which we've kind of seen so far. So we've kind of seen our camp start our business, the trader run ups pretty well. We do the trader quite a lot still now anyway. The Moonshiner showed up. It was an extension of the trader. The trader is going to be kind of like what they're talking about here, the business path in Red Dead Online, right? It's going to be the business path, and the Moonshiner expanded on that. I imagine the next business role we get, maybe we'll expand beyond to a bigger role or bigger business or property than the shack. Maybe we'll get something in a town. Maybe we'll get a store or possibly some kind of other shop or something inside of an actual town itself, not out at a shack in the middle of nowhere. And that'll be an expansion on the trader as well. So I definitely look forward to that. Not sure where that's going to go. Some people have hinted at possibly a miner type role as well, which would be pretty awesome. We could get our business going and get our deliveries, our mine working. Not sure how it all will work out. We've looked into some fisherman roles, maybe at the docks, having something in town. Not too many places for that as well. Are there enough docks that we could have a few areas around that we probably could get ourselves a few different areas to have these docks? Because when you have these non-static or these static camp property type areas, you need at least a half a dozen, right? I think that's how many we have for the shack, right? We have like 6, so everyone's not congregated to one area. It kind of spreads people out inside that lobby. So we have to have places where we can have different locations in different towns. Next thing should be move on from a shack out in the middle of nowhere to some kind of business in town, I think, and maybe just keep growing from that into a larger business in town with possibly like hotels, things like that. That's definitely what we're looking forward to. It's super awesome. They also state in here a lot about all the roles and where they want to expand those. We talked about the trader role being the business side of it. They say, we felt the initial ones that we've created here are a great starting point because they do complement each other. Like having the high action gunslinger for the bounty hunter, the world of exploration for the collector, and then the business management for traders. So we'll kind of see the expansion of each one of those 3 key areas as we get into new roles. We love the fact that you can actually be played in tandem and on the path en route to, say, capturing a bounty. You might find a collectible. Obviously, players can also focus on one role. They've loved that as well. We always love playing all 3 roles, or all 4 now, as much as we can. They can fully embody the life of the bounty hunter if they choose, and going forward, we want players to feel as connected as possible to their character. We've got lots of ideas about how we can develop that further. They talk a lot about role playing in here as well. That might lead to dedicated servers or whatnot. We know we've seen some leaks before the Moonshiner update about dedicated servers, some leaked code in there that said stuff about private servers and whatnot. That would be awesome if we got that here in the future. We all know we would love to have some dedicated servers or some private lobbies where if we can get in there with viewers, get in there with just your friends, have fun doing whatever you want in the game, creating your own little server and content in your own little world. Would be fantastic for the role-playing community there. Another big thing they talk about in this interview is the potential of photography in the game and progressing that into some kind of a role. This has been huge talks in the Red Dead community. I really would love to have an actual photography role. It could be an extension of the collector, exploration, right? That's one of their key categories, their key groups that they would like to have stuff progress in. The collector is part of the exploration. being to have a photography role where you got specific things to go do in the game and take pictures of different scenarios, scenery, animals, things like that in the game will get you out into the wilderness and explore the entire map. It sounds fantastic. Since this interviews came out, it's launched on Red Dead Redemption's launched on PC, which brought to it the photography mode and story mode. The photo mode that actually came to PlayStation with the Moonshiner update, and I think it just dropped on Xbox a couple of weeks ago. If you guys haven't taken a look at the photo mode in story, definitely jump over to your story mode and just jump in real quick and use that photo mode. It is absolutely amazing. Does some awesome stuff in the game and just captures some pretty cool moments. We can't really have quite that extensive of a photo mode in online because it does freeze time, but having that that option to be able to take pictures and have a little better than the camera that's in the game and just capture those kind of moments in online would be awesome. I do know that in their latest newswire as well, they promoted the photo mode, and they even promoted some people that have been posting stuff. There's tons of Instagram pages out there as well doing awesome stuff with photos, so I highly recommend going and checking some of that stuff out, guys. The photo mode would be pretty cool. I'm super excited for that. Let us know in the comments if you guys would be super excited and embody some kind of a photo role. There's going to be lots of roles in this game that aren't as large and intrusive and money making as others, but there's going to be others that are just small little things to do in the game and keep you busy and embodied in the world of Red Dead Online. So I'm super excited for anything that comes this year. Just hopefully there's a few fixes along with some cool updates and content, and of course some new roles. You guys, if you like this video, make sure to smash the like button. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel for more Red Dead Online content, including tips and tricks, news updates, gameplay, just good old-fashioned fun. Hope to see you on the prairie sometime, but until then, see you later.